Hey Excelers, I'm going to show you probably the fastest way of creating a dynamic drop-down chart, and you don't have to worry about any complicated VBA, and you don't have to worry about any complicated index and match formulas, and I'll show you how you do it next. So I've got the simple data set here relating to sales. For column B, we've got the month going from January to December, and then from column C to G, we've got the sale year, and then in the middle, we've got the actual sale amount. First thing we want to do is we want to create a drop down. That drop down is going to be consisting of sale year from 2022 to 2024. I'm going to choose cell J1 for the drop down, and while that's selected, on the menu on the data tab, click on data validation again, and in the data validation dialog box, click on allow, click on list from the drop down, and for the source, click on this button there, and we're going to choose cells for the range C1 to G1 for the sale year. Click on this button again, then click on OK. Now we've created a drop down consisting of the cell year. Next we need to do is we need to go back to the data set and we need to convert this into a table. So click on any cell within the table, click on insert and click on the table button here, or you can press Ctrl T from your keyboard. Click on the table button and that opens up the create table dialog box. Click on OK, and what Excel does is converts this into a table, and your indication of that is it converts the data, it's now banded, so that's your indication that the tables are being converted into a table. So the next thing we need to do is you'll notice that on the menu table tools design dialog box appears whenever you click on a table. If you go on the left hand side, change the default name to something more meaningful, so we're going to call it table data. Next step is go back to the table, and at the right hand side of the table we're going to introduce a new column called year, and that's going to be in column H. So we'll type year, and when you press return, Excel recognizes this new column and incorporates it part of the table and expands the boundary. Next we need to do then in cell H2 for the new column, we type in this formula here. So in the formula bar type indirect, open bracket, rounded bracket, then in quotes, name of the table, table data, which we defined earlier, then put square brackets, then in this part of the formula with a quote, then type and we're going to select the cell that containing the drop down cell year. This time I've actually moved it to cell K1. So select K1, and then we want to make it into absolute. So press F4 to make it fully absolute, then type and, then finish off the square brackets with the ending square bracket in quotes, and then finish off the indirect formula with a rounded bracket. Click on the tick here. So now you'll see that the values in column H is dynamic, so it actually matches the column relating to the sale year. So this time at the moment we've chosen 2022, and column H's cell values is matching the cell values for the column 2022, column E. Change that to another year. Let's change that to 2020. We've got 259231, and that matches the 259231 in column C for 2020. So that's going to be the basis of our dynamic chart data we're going to be using next. The last step is to create the dynamic chart based on the dynamic chart data. So we just select any cell that you want, where you want the chart to appear, and on the ribbon click on the insert tab, then click on one of these buttons here for the chart, insert column or bar chart, that's the button we choose, and then choose the first one, clustered column. Excel then creates a blank area, blank canvas for you to add the data to the chart. So click on select data, and then we need to click on this button here on the left hand side, series, and for series values, click this button here, and we're going to choose cells H2 to H13, which contains the dynamic chart data. Click on OK, and then for the axes on the right hand side, for the horizontal part, you click on edit, click on axes label range, the button here, and select cells B2 to B13, which contains the month, and click on the button here. As you can see now, you got for the y-axis you've got the sale amount, and for the x-axis you've got the month. Click on OK there. Now, while this select data source dialog box is still appearing, there's a button here called hidden and empty cells. Click on this and you'll see in this dialog box appearing a checkbox shows show data in hidden rows and columns. We need to have this checked. The reason being is we want to hide the underlying chart data, which is in column H. If you hide the underlying chart data for a chart, then not only does the underlying chart data disappear, but also the chart disappears as well. So we don't want that happening. So that's why we need to make sure this box is checked. OK, and then click on OK again. And let's test it. So we're going to first hide the underlying chart data. So as you can see, the chart doesn't disappear, so that's working. Next thing we need to do is we need to expand the width of the chart and click on this button here. And we're going to be adding the chart data labels. So what will happen is add the sales amount to the top of each bar. And then for the y-axis for the sale, you can delete that because it's repeating sale amount. And so now it's all ready. Now at the moment it's showing the from the drop down we got 2020, and so for 2020 we got 259 231 259 231, so and so forth, so it's matching. Let's change to a different sale year. Let's choose 2022. So as you can see, the dynamic chart then dynamically adjusts new sale year. So this time it's 2022, and that's 215 261 215 261. Last one, 260 for December, 260. This is now fully dynamic. That's how you create a dynamic chart using the power of tables and the indirect formula. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for my next video.